Hey, Steve Mignani here at High Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with another High Octane Walkaround with a 1972, don't call it Plymouth Duster, this is a Dodge Demon. Now, a lot of folks don't remember the Demon. Of course, today, since 2018, the Challenger Demon, that wheel-standing 9-second killer machine, how cool is that? The Demon actually came first, 1971 and 72, as Dodge's version of the Plymouth Duster, which arrived in 1970. But the crazy thing is, by 1973, Dodge decided to take away the Demon name and turn these into the Dart Sport. In other words, the two-door fastback Duster Demon creature became the Dart Sport in 73, 4, 5, and 6, the final year. But the Demon was around in 71 and 72. And this one here, Demon 340, we got to dig in. Now, the 340, of course, was the biggest engine you could get in a Demon in 1971 or 2 or 3. In 74, the 360 arrived. But with that said, the 340 is the small block. We'll get to that in a minute. But the cool thing about the Demon, which is basically Dodge's version of the Duster, is the fastback roof. And like the Duster, the Demon Sport or the Dart Sport was only available as the two-door fastback. There was no such thing as a convertible Demon or Duster or a four-door or a wagon. There was strictly two-door semi-fastbacks. And these were born to compete with the Chevy Nova, the Ford Maverick, and cars like that. But the cool thing about the Demon versus the Duster is the tail light arrangement. Demon only got these sort of serrated brakes and backup lights right here with these metal integrated vertical dividers, and that's something you won't see on a Duster. Kind of cool. So if you're behind a Demon in traffic, you know it's a Demon by looking for these tail lamps. Let's take a peek inside the trunk. And the great thing about the Demon and Duster is that they have the same basic bones as the Plymouth Valiant and Dodge Dart, basically the same A-body platform, big trunk. And as kids, we used to like to use this spare tire well right here as an impromptu cooler, fill it with ice and beverages, and you got a nice place to keep cool liquids. Now, this is way nicer in the trunk than any factory Demon. The color matched sort of metallic mystic color, Chrome green is in all surfaces, so a lot of show going on. A nice thing on the right rear corner, that's the trunk-mounted battery, not a factory piece, but it plays into the 68 Hemi, Dart, and Barracudas. And again, more weight on the rear tires is better for traction and acceleration. And this is kind of a drag-built car. What I mean by that, big fat tires on the back, skinnies on the front. The idea here is that you're going to be doing a lot of straight line acceleration with this car. And to get this thing moving, we have to look under the hood. A nice detail on this one here is the fact that it has something called the Sizzler graphics package. 1971, there's a thing called the Demon Sizzler, and that meant this blacked out paneling here on the hood, and it sort of has a taper effect here, different width stripes on each side. And again, the Sizzler package was reborn on Dodge Challengers within the last 10 years. So again, Dodge referencing its own history. And this scoop right here was also seen on Demon 340s in 1971. So kind of a cool amalgam of greatest hits components here. Now under this hood, let's see what we have. And there it is, the mighty small block 340 Mopar. Now this one has been, as they say, breathed on. The cast aluminum valve covers, a nice touch over stock. The aluminum Mopar performance cylinder heads with big tube exhaust headers here. These are more than off-the-shelf aluminum heads from Edelbrock. These are some pretty serious Mopar performance race parts. Big tubes right there. So this engine here probably very capable of revving, you know, close to 7,000 RPM, has a roller lifters, roller rocker arms, single plane aluminum intake manifold, big Holley double pumper 4-barrel carburetor, and for keeping things cool, a massive aluminum radiator with 2 cooling fans. And inside the car, nice to see a little bit of a modern air conditioning system in place, so you don't have to sweat too much as you're making your way to and from the car show or the staging lanes at the drag strip. Now we have to wonder what's behind this 340. Let's go inside. Now, as good as the Chrysler TorqueFlite automatic is, I prefer a 4-speed manual. That's what we got right here, the good old Chrysler A833 4-speed with the Hurst shift handle. And this is a factory floor shift car. We can see the larger transmission hump right here. So again, nice to see the original style shifter in place, and nothing connects you to the engine like a manual transmission, which we have right here. Now the bucket seats in this are worthy of note. They are the right appearing high back buckets, which would have been possible in the Demon, but they've been modernized with different bunting and padding inside to give you more of a deep bucket seat effect for better holding on corners and stuff like that. You can see they look the part, but they actually have thicker bolsters on the side, so when you sit in these things, they actually behave like a bucket. Kind of nice. Speedometer on this one here is the basic unit. It goes to 120 miles per hour. That would go to 100 miles per hour as you get in 1974, and the OPEC thing starts to really rear its head. But cool to see the tough wheel right here, which was a Dodge option, also available in Plymouths. The tough wheel, which kind of gives you the look of a British aluminum steering wheel with a tough, thick foam grip on there. Cool looking interior on this, nice dash pad on this one. And the cool thing about Duster that kept the price low, and the Dart Sport and the Demon, was the way the rear windows on these things don't roll down. Rather, they have a pop-out pane right here. So if you're sitting in the back and need some extra air, just do that. But don't look for a door handle or a window crank. They don't have them in the back. Now, while it's important to have enough go, you have to be able to whoa or stop. It's good to see on this one here, Wilwood disc brakes and the Wilwood master cylinder under the firewall. And again, Wilwood brakes are a little bigger than stock. And the cool thing again is this one here. This car is kind of built for a straight line, skinny little Mickey Thompson tires and skinny rims on the front to basically have minimal rolling resistance at the drag strip. But again, you could put some thicker tires on the front of this thing and have a reasonable handling car as well. You choose whichever one, straight line or corner. This little Demon will do the job. And so if you ever thought the Demon was a new thing, think again. It first came out in 71 and 72 right here. If you like this car, you can learn more about it at the High Octane Classics website.